It was as much fun as I've had just purely watching football for an extended period of time that I can remember. Iron Balls, a podcast about sports. My name is Bob, sitting across the way from my good friend and co-host. That's Abe. How you doing tonight, Abe?
Doing well, Bob.
Yeah, here we are. Lori's here too. How you doing tonight, Lori?
I am eagerly awaiting my Diego Pavia hoodie.
Lori is eagerly awaiting a Diego Pavia hoodie. Tonight is Monday, October 20th, 2025. Not since, this time last year has someone in this household ordered custom NIL merch from a college football quarterback.
Sometimes
personal merch store.
You're just moved.
What is Diego's cut?
It doesn't matter. Some.
It's a pretty ugly looking sweatshirt.
This
must
is
be said.
Audio format, so you can't see it.
Wait, you already have it?
No, but she has a screenshot of what it's going to look like.
I didn't get the more ugly, more shocking, and almost like offensive thing, which was a T-shirt with just his screaming face on it.
Okay.
I didn't get that.
Okay. Without his name, just his screaming face?
Just his face.
Okay.
Just his screaming face. Larger, because it's T-shirt, so it's like a larger than life-sized Pavia face.
Nice.
Diego had a pretty good weekend.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
We'll get to that in just a minute. First, it is imperative, Abe, that we live bet the games. Can't help but notice that you've fallen to 500 now, Abe.
Both Jimmy Carter and I are at 500, right?
I think he's still, is he not? Oh, no, you're right. He's 4-4. You're both now at 500.
This, I remember a while ago you called October your month. This has not been my month when it comes to this sports prediction thing, but I'm game. Which game are we going with? The Game 7?
I mean, we have a Game 7 in baseball. How can we turn down the opportunity to gamble on a Game 7 in baseball? What are we going to gamble on the late Houston at Seattle Monday night game?
Another doubleheader. What's up with this NFL? Very greedy.
Very greedy. They demand all of our attention.
This is
Mariners. Mariners are on the Blue Jays won last night in Game 6. Exciting game. I mean, all playoff baseball is exciting. Blue Jays won. I think it was like 6-2. Tonight we have the Mariners again on the road in Toronto against the Blue Jays. Mariners are plus 1.5, plus 110 on the money line, or the Blue Jays minus 1.5 or minus 130 on the money line.
So
this is of course for the right to go get their asses kicked.
Yes, that's right.
By the Dodgers.
So Toronto is known to choke, not just I don't mean baseball. Just from my recollection in hockey and other sports, they find ways to lose. It seems like it's perfectly set up for them to win at home in front of their crowd, and so I'm going to go with the Mariners. They're gonna win, and those Toronto fans are gonna be all sad.
The 1-0 pitch. High fly ball. Left field. Arozarena watches it go.
Going with the Mariners.
Yes.
Money line, I'll assume there.
Yes.
$5 to win, $5.50. Sounds good, because I keep risking $5 to win like $1.19, and that hasn't been working out.
The ESPN Predictometer has the Blue Jays at 65% chance to win. So that's
the home field advantage matters a lot there. You get last licks and all of that.
Should be good.
Yeah.
They're sticking to that 2-3-2 format, I see.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
What would you prefer?
It doesn't think so.
That way the NBA had a 2-2-1-1-1.
That's too much travel.
Yeah, but
then you end up with like 3 goddamn weeks for your championship round.
That is the one drawback. It just gives the losing team those 3 games in the middle, so it's a lot.
Mariners have never been to the World Series.
Really? I did not know that.
I think that's right.
Wow.
I just said it, and I'm pretty sure that's right.
I'm not going to doubt you.
There you go. The Mariners have never been to the World
Wow.
Series. I'm backed up by the AI robots here.
Well, that streak ends tonight. That's how you
They
get
are the only Major League Baseball franchise to have never appeared in a World
Wow.
Series. Rethinking your bet now?
No. I'm committed to this this bet.
This is what it's all about. A strike away for Jeff Hoffman and the Toronto Blue Jays. The payoff. He struck him out! And for the first time in 32 years, the Blue Jays have won the pennant.
He got in! The Blue Jays win the pennant! The Blue Jays win the pennant! They're going to the World Series! It's so good, we must be dreaming! The Toronto Blue Jays come back, knock off the Mariners, and they will take on the LA Dodgers!
You have a good weekend, Abe?
I did. Once again, a lot of sports watching on Saturday and Sunday. I've noticed this sideshow segment that these sports shows have, and it's been that way for some time. You know that mentalist OZ guy? He's like always everywhere. Like in the past, you would have impressionists like a Frank Caliendo. They used to have like some sideshow attraction that they would just show. And now this mentalist guy is everywhere in NFL locker rooms, in college teams locker rooms. I think this weekend they did a segment where he did something with the Georgia team.
Yeah, we saw that on College Game Day. They showed a clip.
Right. And then then last night, Sunday, not even sports, I'm watching 60 Minutes, and then they do a tease for next week's episode about the segment they're doing on him. And I'm like, why is this guy everywhere? And what is
There's a 60 Minutes segment on Oz the Mentalist?
Which is not even this episode. I guess the draw he has is such that at the end of the 60 Minutes episode, like, hey, don't forget next week.
Sounds like his real superpower is convincing television producers to put his ass on TV.
They love this guy. I think he's like an America's Got Talent spawn. But he's just everywhere. I mean, to be fair, whatever he's doing, it seems to be doing the trick because like the reactions by everybody, they seem to be very... They believe in whatever shtick he's got, but like he is literally everywhere. He was all over my television.
His big reveal for the gathered Georgia player idiots. Forgive me, but sorry if you
Busy Bee. How did he get that on his forehead, Bob?
he wrote "Busy Bees" on Nate Frazier's forehead.
How to explain that?
Nate Frazier, like, he went into a conniption saying, I swear, I'm not lying. I'm not lying. I didn't tell him anything. The Nate doth protest too much.
Are you saying he's on the take?
I don't know. I assume not.
How do you explain it?
You know.
He must have some powers.
Powers?
Unless people are just so transparent in what, like if they were to ask you something, I guess you can just read it in your face. Like, I don't know what it is, but he seems to be able to call out.
They have a way of doing it.
Yeah. Very good. He must have some skill. In the past, he would have been killed, right? He would have been like some witch.
Yep.
So like he gets to benefit from the present.
He would have been like a court, the court wizard or whatever.
If he was a woman, he would have been
right.
a witch.
If he was just a woman who got horned up every now and then, they would have burned her. But. All right, let's get into the game's recap because there is
oh my God, there was so much,
an unfathomable amount of football to talk about. I would like to. Should we begin with Georgia Ole Miss?
Sure.
That was quite the game. I was once again watching this at the local watering hole, and I was talking to the people next to me, and I was like, early on, I mean, the score was pretty high as it were, but I was like, first to 40 wins, and it seemed like it kind of held. I was not
solid prediction there.
Yeah, but like that was a fun game.
It's too bad you just told your half-empty beer glass that, and whoever was sitting near you, instead of saying it into a microphone a couple days beforehand.
I should have got it. I did not.
He was actively watching it.
I did not think it was going to be like that. I was like, oh, this is not comfortable. They're scoring. with relative ease, and I'm like, ugh. But thankfully,
What a nightmare
yeah.
this game was for such a long time.
I realized I'm going to say a thing, and you're going to wait. I realized today that episode of Breaking Bad with the train,
Yeah.
this was like that episode, 4 hours long, but with a happy ending.
Yeah.
That episode has one of the worst endings, most upsetting endings in the history of television.
Yeah.
Without
but if
take that away.
if no, not take that away, reverse it.
Instead, the little kid on the moped kills that dead-eyed psycho.
Was it Todd? What was his name?
No.
Yes,
no,
Todd.
No one dies.
It would have been
Instead,
better if Todd had died there.
I don't want to
That would've been a-
spoilers, everyone. It was my heart rate, like out of my mind heart rate, but like worth it.
Yeah.
But then that Breaking Bad episode, same thing, but like now I want to die.
Yeah.
So it was like that Breaking Bad
I see,
episode,
okay.
but happy.
It was funny because I'm watching this, and like I said about the game a couple weeks ago, you don't worry too much anymore. Like I don't get angsty. Like I let my buddy Naveed get all angsty for me because he starts screaming about how much the coaching staff sucks and everything sucks and this team sucks and we're gonna have 4 losses this year. And I look at the schedule. It's like, I mean, maybe a couple, but
Yeah.
I don't see 4 losses on this schedule. But like, I just don't get too up in my feelings or anxious about stuff in the first half anymore because it's just what we do.
Right.
Georgia this season now, after what happened here, have trailed at halftime in 4 of our 5 SEC games.
Right. But this one
And-
was, it's a 1-point deficit. That this was more manageable than those past.
It was manageable, but it was at the half. It would have been ridiculous for you to think, oh no, this time they're going to figure it out. There had been no hint that the defense was going to have any chance whatsoever at stopping what
Right.
was going on.
Yeah.
Usually, at least, there's a stop somewhere, or there's something,
Right.
where there's an indication that Georgia's defense is going to figure it out. But there was no indication at any point in this game that any defense
Right.
was
Yeah.
going to figure anything out.
I was glad that the Georgia offense was able to keep pace, but you're right, it was concerning by Ole Miss early on. I'm shocked that Ole Miss was not able to score 8 points in the fourth quarter based on how the direction that they were headed toward. I don't think they scored once in the fourth.
Correct. You said keep pace, and that's exactly like the thinking there is, as long as we keep scoring, like the worst that could happen is we get down by a score or 2 and then have to come back because, of course, we were not able to punch it in every time, but we did kick field goals. Like every drive in that first half ended with points, and you can go if you click on the play-by-play tab of the box score at ESPN, and you can select either all plays or scoring plays.
Yeah.
For the first half,
Same thing.
It's the same, right? Because it shows you
For
all
most of the second half, it's
right?
the same.
And like through the third quarter, it's still the same because the possessions go field goal, touchdown, 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 end of half with a field goal.
Right.
Like that's the first 7, and then we come back and it's touchdown, 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 touchdown. Like
Yeah.
that. It's just endless offense. It's just Big 10 or rather Big 12 football
Big 12.
from 10 years ago.
Just there is no punter.
And part of me is watching this going, I know we hung with Tennessee, but like this is a different animal. This Georgia offense looks like they could beat anybody.
Right.
The way, and I know that Ole Miss is problematic defensively, obviously, but we were able to basically do whatever we wanted.
Yeah, what was
All throughout.
Stockton's stat line? He had a great game. He had like
Great.
4
Almost
touchdowns
300
passing.
yards
Yeah.
passing.
5 touchdowns?
Yeah, I think he had like 5 overall, right? Like I think-
5,
20,
yeah.
it's not even the yard. It's 26 of 31.
Yeah.
Like he just didn't miss. He threw 4 times for touchdowns. He ran for another. The play calling it makes me mad at everything else that we normally see out of this offense. like all of a sudden we have productive tight ends on this team again.
Right.
Where the fuck has that been? Where has been the play action to the tight end across the middle, right? Getting the tight end off tackle and in space and finding that dude.
Yeah, Twitter was awfully quiet about Bobo yesterday.
Well,
or
because
Saturday,
it looked
oddly enough.
good,
Right.
right? It doesn't usually look good, and I know like it's a cliche for Georgia fans to be mad at Mike Bobo at this point, but like this game almost just makes me madder at Mike Bobo.
Yeah.
Because this was
You
so
would find a way.
good.
Right.
Oscar Delp, 4 catches for 42 yards. Lawson Lucky, 5 catches for 43 yards and 3 scores. That's just your tight ends. We haven't had that sort of tight end.
Yeah.
And the assumption in the past was, well, that's because Brock Bowers ain't coming through that door. That's why you don't see tight end production like that anymore. It's like, no, apparently not. Apparently we just aren't choosing to do it.
Right.
Oh, maybe they got better.
And maybe like it's just whatever the defense is showing you. Maybe they're I don't know. The tight ends are being covered against other teams. I don't know. I don't know what the charitable explanation is. Like, why don't you do more of this? And maybe they will going forward. Maybe going forward we'll have a lot of this. Hopefully.
Yeah.
I thought one of the nicest things about the last couple days was all the podcasts just glowing about Gunnar Stockton. Like, not, oh my God, he's so good, but like, wow, what a ball player. That guy's awesome.
He's great.
He's great.
He was great in this game, and I can still find stuff to complain about because
because you are who you are.
There were half a dozen instances. Again, a lot of the time he turned it into positive plays, but there were a number of moments in this game where Grunter has dudes wide open and he just does not see them.
They're way easier to see with the Skycam.
Of course it's easier to see with the Skycam. The quarterback's whole job is to stand there and have Skycam vision, basically.
Right.
And what Grunter does not have is anything approaching Skycam vision. He has extremely limited vision. And it's in part can be attributed to the fact that he has not done this a ton, right? Keep in mind his first start in college was the game against Notre Dame, right? So he's only got 7 or 8 starts now in his college career. Unfortunately, he only has a year left after this at most, right? So it's not like he's got a lot of runway to grow as a quarterback. I do not think that his ceiling in terms of vision is much higher than it currently is now, right? He is a go to that first read, maybe go to the check down, and then get the fuck out of there kind of quarterback. And that can be fine, right? Against college defenses, you can kind of feast against a lot of the less good defenses and hang with the better defenses still, if you're accurate.
Right.
I don't see him becoming a guy who has total mastery of what's going on out there.
So basically,
just because he just keeps missing dudes who are either running open and can be thrown open, or who are just wide the fuck open.
Right. But you said that he has 7 or so starts in him. You can already project that this is the ceiling. Like he's not going to be able to. Get more comfortable.
Call him Grunter for a reason, right? Like he just doesn't seem like he's the ball player that he's going to be. Yeah. I suspect. I mean it's great. Like he's a damn good dog, right? He fulfills those 3 syllables as well as anybody since Aaron Murray.
Right.
Like that's a damn good dog.
Right.
Is what Grunter Stockman is. But also he's not reading defenses and he's not seeing the plays developing the way that truly elite quarterbacks do.
What do you make of Ole Miss's performance? Because it wasn't just passing yards that they were giving up. There was a lot of rushing yards that they gave up. I think they gave up like over 500 in total yards. And like it seems like they just cannot stop Georgia no matter what we did. Like run it, throw it.
No, they couldn't stop us. We ran for 220 yards.
Yeah, a ridiculous amount.
Yeah. So throwing for almost 300, running for 221 is a very productive day at the office for the offense.
And I guess Ole Miss, you chalk it up, okay, we beat them when they came to us, and they beat us when we came to them, and it's just a wash. Let's just move on. Like, there's nothing to say more.
To them as a program, this doesn't matter, right? Like, they could have afforded this loss more than we could, in all likelihood.
It matters.
It matters, but, like, walking away from this game, their playoff chances aren't meaningfully reduced by having
True.
lost this game.
True.
And Lance seemed to take it relatively in stride after the game. Like,
What is up with this your boy Lance? Like I was watching the College Game Day, and they do these interviews, and he's like by some hotel or wherever they have the team situated, and he's like into like this fancy stretching yoga. Like he seems like he's like a different man. I don't know. Like there's all this talk about him like going maybe to a Florida or wherever, but he seems to be doing well. Why not just live the life you're living? You know, Ole Miss is happy to have him.
I can't. I mean, are we switching to that conversation now?
No, not yet. He's a real chuckle fuck, that guy. Yeah. Like he's the rare like young man's chuckle fuck,
Yeah.
but a chuckle fuck nonetheless. Very smug, very pleased with himself a lot of the time.
I will say, to his credit, the people around him seem to like him. I mean, Saban thinks highly of him. Kirby Smart thinks highly of him. So, like, despite the, he had that rough patch where he just kept on leaving programs at, like, USC, Tennessee, and whatnot. He seemed like he's settled down.
Yeah. The thing that I've said about this defense is if they get into a situation where they are facing a perfect quarterback, they're going to be in trouble. And I mean, it's a very obvious thing to say on the one hand. Like, yes, of course, perfect quarterbacks are perfect. But the point being is that they're not going to force the issue. They will allow you to make mistakes and perhaps either take advantage of them or not. They don't force a lot of turnovers. They don't really force the issue. They don't get pressure on the quarterback a great deal. They rely on good zone coverage, basically, right? Like if the zone holds, then we're going to be okay. But if you have a highly accurate passer who knows how to read a defense, you're going to be in trouble. Like Ty Simpson, like Aguilar from Tennessee was able to pick us apart a lot of the time, and like Chambliss was able to do through three quarters. And all of a sudden in the fourth quarter, this defense started getting pressure on that dude.
Yeah.
And I don't know where it came from. Right. I don't think it's explicable to the coaches. I don't think this was an in-game adjustment because they came out in the third quarter and continued to get their ass kicked, right? Ole Miss continued to walk up and down the field at will. And I don't know what happened. And I think it's inexplicable to Kirby as much as it is inexplicable to us. But all of a sudden, they're getting penetration and Chambliss is hurried.
Enough fucking around.
And in the fourth quarter, Trinidad Chambliss was 1 for his last 10. The one completion went for 1 yard. Ole Miss ran 11 non-punt plays for a total of 13 yards in the fourth quarter. The one other play that had positive yardage was a 12-yard run on first down, and it was from the 25, right? Like, so it's after a kickoff. They just let's get some yards here, and they're probably going to drop into prevent, so they just get a free 12 yards. And that defensive production came out of nowhere. Yeah. I didn't stand up, and I know watching a game with me is super annoying in all likelihood, but I didn't stand up and demand a hunker until that first stop that we ended up getting. It was 3rd and 10, I think, or maybe 3rd and 9. The first drive that they had in the fourth quarter, and we got a hunker. We got to stop for the first fucking time. And I would have settled for a field goal at that point, right? Because they just kept scoring goddamn touchdowns.
Right.
But we held them. And then they did not really have another meaningful offensive play for the rest of the game in the fourth quarter.
I mean, that fourth quarter was they had 3 possessions. One was 3 and out, 19 seconds. 3 and out, 57 seconds, and then 5 and turnovers on downs, 38 seconds. It was like a very bad fourth quarter for them. Just nothing happened.
You take Chambliss's runs out, and Ole Miss ran the ball 15 times for 46 yards. And he added, I think, 50 or 60 yards to that with his scrambles and a couple of designed runs. But the running game was not a factor at all.
Right.
And when they had to be nothing but a passing team in the fourth quarter, which they had been all it just doesn't make any goddamn sense to me. Right. What changed? And part of it is obviously he wasn't perfect, but the reason that he wasn't perfect in the last quarter was because he was getting harried. He was getting hurried, and it wasn't.
They said enough fucking around.
Is it like a athleticism, physicality kind of thing where eventually that wears the other team down and whatever plays that you have just won't work? Is Georgia just better and that's what's driving it?
Probably more mental.
Because like I wonder what it's a very constant thing. I mean, yeah, this time the third quarter wasn't like it was in the past. Like Ole Miss was doing well in the third quarter, but eventually at some point near the end of the game, teams hit a wall against Georgia, and they can't do much more. Whereas earlier in the game, it's as if nothing can go wrong. They can score touchdowns with ease.
And it's the opposite, because you're always hearing these idiot TV color men talking about, like, you know, they're going to wear them down as the game goes on. These defenses are going to get tired.
Yeah,
but
one
no,
of them.
in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. It's very odd. Like, it doesn't make sense. Usually it's the other way around. Yeah, defenses will get tired.
Well, but our defense, and theirs too, and that's why I think it's more mental, had a lot of rest. With the long touchdown drives, the defensive players get to sit around.
Yeah, maybe that's
so
what it is.
the wearing them out part, like time of possession wise, what did it end up looking like?
Georgia by 15 minutes, 37-22.
Well, it helps that they threw the ball around like crazy, so maybe that is a factor, right? Because in theory, on the scoring passing drives go faster than the Georgia's more run-heavy offense, I guess.
Sure.
And they had that one drive that was, I think, 2 plays, right?
Yeah.
For 75 yards and a score. Like I said, it makes me mad about Mike Bobo and this offense seeming like our willful sand in the gears, quicksand kind of an offense that we default to most of the time.
Well, everyone's been yelling at him to run the damn ball all these years.
It reminds me a little bit of coaching. I coach, of course, Little League, and I am able to sort of control outcomes in a way that is not great. Probably, you want the kids to go out there and compete. But if we have an unbalanced situation in terms of talent disparity, through no fault of my own, sometimes the coach has to find a way to press on the gas or press on the brake in different ways that allows things to be more competitive rather than simply rubbing their faces and everything. And it's what it feels like is happening. Like, it feels like they are trying to control things in a way that but if this offense is capable of what we saw, like an offensive display sort of unlike anything we've seen before, why don't we see it more often?
Yeah.
And I just don't understand it.
Aaron Murray tweeted, and he read my mind. It reminded me of that LSU game back in 2013 or whatever it was, when Calvin was a baby. It was like that. It was not since then. Who was the offensive coordinator back then?
Mike Bobo.
Oh.
It helps when you've got Todd Gurley back there doing stuff.
Yeah.
You can say good on Bobo, I guess, but what do you say about the defensive side of things? Like, it's not enough to be able to finally put your foot down and get 3 stops at the end of the game. Like, this will not work against teams that have anything resembling a defense, which Ole Miss apparently doesn't have much of one. You can't rely on this. Like, it's no way to live.
Yeah.
And
you know, Kirby Smart, during the interview on College Game Day, they kind of asked him about these slow starts on offense and also the defense not being so great. I forget how it was posed, but he said something along the lines of you don't want to fixate on a problem or say something too much because it'll get in their head. So I wonder what strategy they're using instead of just kind of focusing on it. Because maybe it does more harm than good. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this shakes out down the road. I'm surprised Arkansas kept it close against Texas A&M, but you need not to look too far ahead, but you need an A&M loss or 2 for Georgia to kind of sneak into the SEC title. I don't even know if they want to be in that.
That's the thing.
We don't need
as
to.
a fan.
No.
As a fan,
care.
I want SEC championships, right? Like I like hanging the banner and saying we won the SEC this year.
Right.
As a program, I don't think they have any interest whatsoever.
I'd rather have a home playoff
in playing
game.
in that game, because you play in that game and you lose, you probably have to go on the road for your playoff game. Right?
And if you win, you don't get a home game.
You go into that game with 1 loss and you lose, you are traveling for your first playoff game.
Right.
You go into that game with 1 loss and you win, you're probably the 4 seed and you don't have a playoff game in the first round.
Right.
and you don't play in that game at all, and you get to host a home playoff game against.
Maybe, depending on what else is going
I mean,
on.
in all likelihood, you get to host a home playoff game. How do you not
Right.
take that option?
Right. But in a scenario, we'll likely be playing very good teams with good quarterbacks, like in the playoffs. And I'm assuming Alabama will be that other team in the SEC title game. So, like, hopefully this gets sorted out before then, because, like, this is not going to work against, like, a good team like Ohio State and Alabama.
Yeah. All right. We can move along to other games this weekend. Let's start on Friday night. Louisville 24, Miami 21. Carson Beck throws 4 picks.
Almost 5, right?
New record.
I keep hearing he really threw 5. I think that the one that they called back, he then threw a pick on anyway.
Okay, so I guess
Yes.
Right? So it's not 5. He threw 4, and then they gave him another chance. And he did that with Georgia in one game.
It was Texas. He did 2 in a row. It was Texas.
He
then
threw a
one
bad
after
pick, and then there was a penalty on it, so he got another chance, and then he immediately threw another pick. It's like
I like it.
He's fated to throw these picks.
And then he does the blame his teammates thing afterwards. Like,
did he? I didn't see that.
He threw like one of the players under like he ran the wrong route or he did something like.
I mean, it's never a good look, but it's almost usually like it's always the case. That
I know,
the
but like
receiver
it does
up,
you no
right?
good, especially after you play a turd of a game like that as the number 2 team. And then
It was such a. He gets this look in his face where you just know things are going to continue to go poorly.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. The 4th pick, the 3rd and 1 from the Louisville 33 with 32 seconds to go in a game that you're down by 3 and essentially in field goal range already.
Right.
Number 1, why are you throwing the ball there,
Right.
Mario?
They were already in field goal range at that point, right?
Yeah, close enough anyway for a long one, you know.
But you could like run it and get a few more yards to kind of be in a better position. But you're right. Maybe they were overthinking it. Like, I don't know.
Get 1 yard, spike the ball,
Yeah.
run another passing play or 2, maybe, I guess. But like very safe ones. But like don't try to throw for the first down. What are you doing?
Yeah, just ugly loss.
It probably doesn't hurt Miami too much though. Like if they win the rest of their games, they're going to be fine.
Yeah, if they do.
Nebraska 6, Minnesota 24, also on Friday night. This is funny to me in 2 ways. 1, Dylan Ravioli continues to suck ass, and 2, if you're Matt Rule,
Yes.
and you're sort of auditioning for the Penn State job, and you go out on a Friday night and get mollywopped by the Golden Gophers. Not a great look.
Not a great look. Even if you had no intention to leave to another school, you could at least have used as leverage to get like more money, like that.
Not getting an extension now, Matt. Dummy.
What a terrible performance.
Tech goes to Duke and wins 27-18. Everybody was all over Duke in this game. It's like, look, Duke has played a much harder schedule. Tech has won 3 games by the skin of their teeth. They're not very good. They haven't really played anybody except Clemson, and Clemson sucks. Why do we care about Tech? Let's make Duke the favorite here. And then every picker that I saw picking games last week was like, I'm all over Duke at home against the fraudulent Techies. I was like, yeah, fuck Tech. And then Tech comes out, and it was an ugly game, apparently. I didn't get to watch much of it.
Oh, my God.
I wouldn't call it. Was it ugly?
Okay, so I had the TV on, but I'm not actively watching it. I'm just kind of looking up, and at least the first half of the game, it felt like Duke was always driving. Like they always had the ball, and they were like near scoring opportunity.
Look at the game stats for this game, and it looks like Duke should have won this game.
Right, like and like the very first like time they had the ball, they had some sort of fumble at the goal line, returned the other way for 6 for Georgia Tech. Like Duke was about to score a touchdown, they fumbled the ball, and it goes all the way the other way, and now it's Georgia Tech up 7-0. And there was like another one where they were driving, and then something goofy happened, or they didn't convert on 4th down, and then the game kind of got out of hand. But initially, it looked like, because I picked Tech, and I was like, oh man, this Duke team's not bad. Like they were moving the ball with ease. But it just
26
didn't score.
first downs, 441 yards, 373 yards passing. And the edge in the time of possession, and Duke still loses by 2 scores.
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, I still don't. I mean, this Georgia Tech team undefeated, but they're not going to be undefeated for long.
Are you sure? Is Georgia Tech perhaps a team of destiny?
They got Syracuse next week. We'll see. Although,
right.
actually, other than that, other than Georgia at the end of the year on that Black Friday.
Yeah, their schedule's.
Oh, no, their schedule sets up for them to be in the ACC championship game for sure. All right, Mississippi State, 21. Florida, 23.
That was a heartbreaker.
So I don't want to get into too much hyperbole here, but from about 4 o'clock until about 10:30, you could not go wrong with a college football game on. If you followed our best game in every time slot prescription, you had like 8 games on your television that were legitimately all worth watching.
Yeah, it was remarkable.
It was a very, very fun 2-window slot there.
I
on Saturday
found
evening.
myself at one point after the Georgia game, like after that was over, sitting on the couch but leaning forward and gripping onto the coffee table, just looking, that's that, okay, that's that, all right, now over there, okay. And I was like, why am I clutching the coffee table?
Right. We usually have 5 games on, right? The Georgia game or a main game on the big TV, and then 4 other games on the quad box. And sometimes we switch it and put the quad box on the big TV, and then if it's like a less interesting so-called big game, we'll put that on the smaller. Anyway, logistics
Sometimes we get in a weird mood.
don't
and we
matter
do things different.
that much probably. And that's ridiculous, right? That's a lot of stimulus all going on at once.
A lot.
And also, a lot of the time I'm dicking around on my phone or texting buddies or texting group chats or what have you. So it's like, how much attention am I really paying to all 5 of the football games going on at once? While I was watching these games for this like 7 or 8 hour stretch, like it was like I was that Chris Hansen weirdo at on the
Zone,
NFL
right?
Red Zone.
Yeah.
It was like I was
that.
on every single game, and anytime there was down moment in one game, you could look in another box and something cool would be going on the other box. It was as much fun as I've had just purely watching football for an extended period of time that I can remember. And that's not necessarily including what was going on with the Georgia game, which was just sort of demoralizing for most of it. But anyway, this Mississippi State-Florida game is part of what I'm referring to, because with 13:41 to go in this game, Florida takes a 19-7 lead and lines up to go for 2. And if Billy Napier had survived this, which he does not, spoilers, Billy Napier got fired the next day. You can make an argument that what happened here at the start of the fourth quarter with them going up 19-7 sort of like sums up why Billy Napier is just never going to fucking figure it out. But they line up to go for 2 with 12 men on the field. Like they just get in formation with 12 dudes.
Yeah.
And so that's coming off of a stoppage, right? I know it's a stoppage after a touchdown, so maybe there's some chaos, but there's no excuse for running 12 dudes out there to go for 2, unless you're just poorly organized and poorly prepared. But then, so they get the 5-yard penalty, and he thinks the math has changed or something. No, Billy, the math has not changed in a way that matters. Just because you're on the 7 now instead of the 2.
Yeah.
You still need the 2 points rather than the 1. It still makes sense to go for 2.
Right.
But instead, he kicks the extra point. So now they're up 13 points instead of 14. And Mississippi State scores quickly to make it 20-14 now with just under 12 minutes to go. Florida then goes on and kicks a 53-yard field goal to go up 23-14 with 6 minutes and 49 seconds to go, which you'll note that's 2 scores.
Yeah.
So still feeling relatively okay. Mississippi State scores a touchdown to make it 23-21 with 2.5 minutes to go. And Florida gets the ball back. On 3rd and 1 with 1:54 left in the game, Florida runs like an option bootleg play that Lagway pulls back instead of handing some sort of RPO. But it's unforgivable in this situation to give him the option to fuck this up, right? Don't give him an RPO. You need one run. You're Florida. They're Mississippi State. Get the 1 yard on the ground or don't. Yeah. But don't give him the option to really fuck this up. And instead of putting the ball in the running back's belly, he pulls it back and looks like he wants to throw, but the little out check down guy was covered up. And so now he sort of has to tuck it and try to run, and he gets sacked for like 7 or 8 yards. Can't do that. You can't take an 8-yard sack there. Mississippi State gets the ball back at their own 28 after the punt with 1:39 to go. They drive to the Florida 29-yard line, 8 yards inside the field goal. They put that green line on the field. It's like, hey, get here, and maybe your kicker has a chance, even though it's college and nobody fucking knows what's going to happen. But
what happened to the Giants?
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Okay.
We get inside the 8 yards inside the field goal max range line. And on 2nd and 10 from 8 yards inside that line, they call a pass that is picked off by the only player who's within like 7 yards in any direction of where the ball is. It is an utterly inexplicably bad pass. Yeah. And I assume that if this quarterback was of low character like Carson Beck, that in the press conference afterwards, he would say something about the bad route that was run by at least one, if not more than one, of his teammates in that moment. But you cannot call a 2nd and 10 pass when you're in field goal range, not down by 3 or 4 on the road, where you're like, man, we really need to stay out of overtime if we can avoid. Right? You're down 3. You're Mississippi State. Let's win this fucking thing, right? Let's get out of the swamp with let's get this 2+ year SEC losing streak over in style. What do I look like? A lesser Stoops? Do I look like a coward who doesn't want to try to win a game and instead is just playing for the tie? No, I'm Jeff Levy. I want to win this fucking game. But if you're only down 2, you dummy, you just need the field goal. Do not throw it.
Yeah, that was a bad throw.
Thrown directly to that guy. Right. No one else in the area. SEC losing streak intact, extended to 15 games. And then the next morning, Billy Napier got fired, which is fucking the fantastic cherry on top. Mississippi State didn't even do the thing. Yeah. And he got fired the next day. Anyway.
Imagine the Florida decision makers, after doing the high five for surviving Mississippi State, they looked at each other and like, this didn't change anything. He's still getting shit canned. And they went to sleep.
Yeah. And slept very well.
Yeah.
The poor Mississippi State people. I feel sad for them.
It would have been a great win. I appreciate that Florida won't be coming off a humiliating loss and won't have that like rally around the flag thing.
They might have that anyway.
I don't know.
Teams are good with interim coaches.
Yeah.
Didn't work for Penn State.
It's just a thing teams are good with.
Texas Tech 22, Arizona State 26.
Was that same window?
This is that quarterback the Levitt quarterback. Is that that game or?
Yeah, Levitt was good in this game for Arizona State. This was a game that Arizona State sort of was in control of the entire time. Texas Tech was playing. I think they were playing their backup quarterback for this game, right? Arizona State kicks a field goal to make it 19-7 with 14 to go, and an 89% win probability. This is one of those wild swings of the old win probability meter stories here. Texas Tech touchdown makes it 19-14 with 3 minutes and 45 seconds to go. Still an 89% win probability for Arizona State. Arizona State has it 4th and 16 on their own 19, getting ready to punt with an 80% win probability. But the punt is quite bad and returned all the way back to the 12, and their win probability drops to 51%. Wow. Texas Tech goes up 22-19 with the next play and a 2-point conversion with 2 minutes on the clock. And now Texas Tech has a 98.4% win probability. There's a funny sort of quirk in the win probability formula, which is upon scoring the 2-point conversion, like I said, 98% win probability, they have to turn the ball back over to the other team right? Like they're forced to change possession here. And so after the kick, that win probability drops to 80%, even though it's not like it was a great return or anything.
Right.
Like they just got it. It was just a touchback.
Yeah.
But
There's
like
too much time.
yeah, but there was that amount of time upon the touchdown scoring. So there's 18% of the win probability is there's a 1 in 5 chance that something goes terribly wrong for Arizona State.
Right.
And they don't actually end up with the ball
Right.
back, right?
Yeah.
Like that's a much bigger swing than I would have guessed exists, and it gives me no faith in the win probability
That is true,
statistic.
yeah. That's too.
Around which I am basing this entire conversation about this game. To be clear,
They really should just show you that win probability chart to see how volatile a game is. Because sometimes you'll see like, oh, this favorite team remain favorites, and it was like 99% by the second quarter, and nobody cares.
Right.
And then other times it's like all over the place.
right? ASU goes on a 10-play drive to score a touchdown and go up 26-22 with 34 seconds on the clock. Back to now a 98% win probability for Arizona State. Texas Tech, with just 34 seconds on the clock, drives to the ASU 28 for one more play with 3 seconds to go. And they throw this garbage, low percentage Hail Mary. It's only 28 yards. You've got to have something better in your back pocket for 28 yards than
We've heard what your suggestion is.
a scramble drill that goes into a pile of 6 dudes over there. But yeah, that fails. ASU wins, and the kids storm the field, and Texas Tech has its first loss of the season.
Speaking of storming the field, Vandy did not, right? Is that correct against LSU?
So they did.
They did. Okay.
But they waited till the team was off the field.
Okay.
So it doesn't count.
Okay.
They're not in trouble.
So that's
Speaking of the win probability chart, at no point was LSU on the correct side.
Oh, really? They were
of-
underwater
of
whole
the
time?
win
Yeah, you're
probability
right.
chart in
Yeah,
that
I'm
game.
looking at it now. You're right. So wait a minute, Lori. You can wait until the players get off the field?
I mean, do you want me to find? I can find the thing.
That's
Hold
an
on, it was
interesting
Christine
carve out
Amy
in the
that
rule book.
posted it.
I wonder what school
Hold on.
asked for it. Maybe Vanderbilt. We're patient.
Okay. Vanderbilt University avoided a fine that accompanies the SEC's access to competition area policy by successfully executing a, quote, delayed field rush following its game against LSU. SEC policy requires a fine of blah, blah, blah. However, the policy allows for member institutions to adopt an institutional policy that permits fans to celebrate on the playing surface once the visiting team personnel and game officials have safely exited the field or court.
Huh.
The school must submit the plan to the conference office in advance and communicate the policy to fans. If all visiting team personnel and game officials are safely off the playing surface prior to the fans entering the field or court, then the home institution may avoid the prescribed penalty.
Do you know what that leaves open the possibility of?
Like
What's
nerds?
that?
A
Nerds?
spiteful,
Yes.
a spiteful Brian Kelly lingering, like hiding behind the medical pop-up tent or something, and waiting for them to give the all clear, and then popping out to get on camera with all of the people rushing
Like
the
a
field.
little leprechaun?
Is there an official that gives a thumbs up, thumbs down to the fans? Like, how do you know that all the
Yeah, I
players
don't know,
have
but
cleared?
you know what makes it much easier? When there's only 30,000 people in the stands, and half of them are rooting for the other team
come
and are
on.
just heading for the exits.
They're upgrading their facility, Bob.
Even Vanderbilt, as a top 25, now top 10.
That's right.
Top 10 Vandy is still got half of the people in their own home stadium rooting for the other team.
Bob, I am sad for you that you missed this game.
Yeah.
It was so I watched it. Calvin had a soccer game and I had to take him to it, and I wasn't happy about it. And there are lots of games going on, but on the phone it's so small, the quad box you can't you can't use. So I was mostly watching this game with an earbud in, but it's sunny, and also I want to watch my kid. Like, I don't want to I just want to stare at it. So I was kind of listening to it and kind of watching it, and it was just so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
Seems like it was
Diego, go.
Seems like a fun one. The again, it was never seemed in danger of Vandy losing this one. LSU's stats, like you were saying about the Duke game, also Like LSU stats aren't half bad.
No, it was a very fun game.
It was just a good football game. Yeah, I don't know where you go if you're Brian Kelly though. Like the rest of the LSU schedule is not good.
Texas A&M and then Alabama. Whew. You can beat Texas A&M maybe, but you're not beating at Alabama. That'll probably be like a night game. Actually, I don't even know what they haven't scheduled it.
A&M is coming to you. I don't think maybe you can win that game. I don't know. And then you go to Alabama. Arkansas could be a fight. Like Arkansas is going to score some points. The offense is just they can't get anything really going. Like I mean, I know they scored 24 points against Vandy, I guess, but like their run game is functionally non-existent. No matter how much Brian Kelly doesn't want to talk about it, and they still have Oklahoma at the end of the year
Yeah, that's
too.
true. Yeah, that's a rough schedule.
What is their best win?
Who? Vandy?
LSU's best win
Clemson, maybe?
is
I don't know. Who they beat?
is beating
Yeah.
Clemson to start the year. Clemson's not good.
I mean, and Florida
No, they
is another
lost.
win, but would you call that a quality win? I mean,
beating Florida is not a quality win.
Right.
Their best win might be a loss to Ole Miss, 24-19.
but opportunity awaits them. They can beat a top 5 Texas A&M, and they'll be right back in it.
All right, Mizzou 23, Auburn 17. This was an ugly game that got very exciting at the end.
We were nice and drunk at the end of this
Oh,
game.
yeah.
This game is tied.
We were having a lot of fun.
The game is tied 17-17 with 33 seconds to go. Mizzou has driven for a first down on the Auburn 30. 78% win probability, by the way. Their kicker is no good. So they're on the 30.
Wait,
but
Auburn's kicker?
No, Mizzou.
Okay.
Mizzou is on Auburn's 30, and the field goal target line is still 7 more yards closer. So they don't trust this guy to make anything more than a 40-yard field goal.
And they shouldn't.
They take a sack on first down on a so keep in mind, okay, 17-17 tie game. They're on the 30 with a first down with 33 seconds to go. In the bag is what I was thinking, right? Like this, how can you lose? But then they take a big drop back and get sacked. And they have an incomplete backwards pass on it's like 2nd and 17 or something. And the Mizzou quarterback throws what looks like a screen to a running back out there in the flat. And because it's going backwards and airmailed over his head, it's another like 7 or 8 yard loss on second down. So just complete clusterfuck happening here in a game that's like, oh, we're going to win. Oh, no, we're not.
Yeah.
So it's 3rd and 23 with 24 seconds to go, and they get a false start. So now it's 3rd and 28 from the 48-yard line. You were 1st and 10 from the 30, and now you're at midfield with a kicker that needs to be within, like, on the 25-yard line to have a prayer.
Right.
And it's real bad news. He throws a long pick instead, and so now we're going to overtime. I'm going to show you, I'm going to pull this up. The coin toss at the start of an overtime period is not usually something that is must-see TV.
Oh, is this the, okay, I think
Oh, it's so good.
Gentlemen, we will now enter an extra period. Missouri, you get a choice here of offense. Excuse me. We're going to flip the coin, guys. Same coin we flipped earlier. Okay, ball placed on the 25-yard line with an opportunity to score. Each team gets 1 timeout. Understand? Yes, sir. Okay. Missouri, you're the visiting team. What's your call? Heads. Heads has been called. It is heads. You won the coin toss. Offense, defense, or the end of the field? Defense. You want to select defense. Okay. Auburn, what end of the field do you want to go to? It's in the field. So you'll be on offense first. Swing around from this way, Auburn. Missouri, over here.
How does the referee keep his shit together with this giant Mizzou player
'Cause they
just
probably
talking,
hear it.
yelling endless shit?
What?
It's all they do the whole game.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good point, Lori. I wonder if that's just like background noise. It's like, they say people have like nose blindness. Like if you're like in a room and it's kind of stinky and no one
Well, you
smells
tune it out.
You just tune it out. And so maybe it's like nothing to him. It's like, I hear this the whole
Well,
time.
like when I first met Bob's mom, she had, I don't know, a bunch of fucking kids. She had like a 3-year-old and a 14-year-old and a 16-year-old. I don't know. And she was driving everybody around on the phone in the car, having a full conversation with a minivan full of people. And I was like, how can she possibly have a conversation on the phone? And it's just because she just had completely tuned out the chaos that constantly surrounded her.
So it's got to be that. Although, I mean, these are all captains that are there for this very important heads or tails. I'm surprised it wasn't tails, by the way. Like, this guy did not have the temperament to be a captain. What are you doing here? Just,
He's getting his boys hyped, and he's
There's a time and place for
intimidating the other guys. What else do you need?
Why are you getting hyped at the heads and tails part? Like, that's just like random.
Well,
luck.
that's how you win, Abe.
I guess so. I guess you're right.
It worked out for him. In the first overtime, both teams miss field goals, and they have to go play a second overtime. Although that surprised Eli Drinkwitz, who ran off smugly as his kicker shanked the ball. I'm gonna play this real quick because it's very funny. Not great audio, but good visually.
Did you think that was going in? Like,
Yeah, he thought it was going in. He runs out there, he gives the old fist pump, and no good.
And the home crowd is happy that their team is losing.
I just loved Eli running out there with the smug look on his face and doing the fist pump as the kick goes wide
But
left.
it's such a weird, like, okay, you're on the road and the fans are happy. Your kicker seems dejected. Like, what information is he taking in
I have no idea.
that gives him the impression that, and then the refs are saying it's no good? Like, I don't understand. There's nothing that said that it was good.
He's trying to manifest reality. He's one of those the secret weirdos. Mizzou goes on to score a touchdown and then fail the 2-point attempt in the second OT. And then on fourth down,
Don't worry, Auburn sucks.
Auburn throws the ball to a fat offensive lineman illegally because the quarterback's going to be sacked. And in a emergency, I got to get rid of this thing because I know I can't take a sack. He throws it to his offensive lineman, who catches it and then runs for 10 yards and then just kneels down because he knows, like, oh, this isn't going to matter anyway. Why would I continue to run?
Smart move by him. He's got class on Monday.
Yeah, Auburn sucks. I don't know how Hugh Freeze keeps his job either.
Did
Like,
they
what are we
not
doing?
come out and say that they have no plans to make a decision until the end of the year?
Sounds like kiss of death to me.
But also, at this point,
Yeah.
wouldn't you not fire anyone and
Well, you
just
have
hope
to
they
get it-
get hired?
Yeah, I mean, you have to get it. No, Hugh Freeze is not getting a job somewhere else. What are you talking about? He's not going to get hired away.
Yeah.
He's going to jump at the Colorado State job or something now that that's come open.
And they still have Vanderbilt and Alabama.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
That is a rough. It can be healthy being an Auburn fan, especially this year. Just go watch something else.
It's obviously not healthy being Hugh Freeze. He's very puffy. Texas A&M 45, Arkansas 42. Bobby Petrino tried to hang and did hang with the Aggies throughout much of this game. It's a slightly deceptive final score there, the 45-42. They were down, or A&M went up 45-35 with less than 4 minutes to go. And so, and then Arkansas kind of played for the cover in a weird way. There's a 7.5-point game. They only needed a field goal, but they were not acting like, in the last few minutes of that game, they were not acting like they were going for 2 scores. Like, they were very much just like, oh, well, if we can score a touchdown here, then great. It'll look better on the box score at the end of the day. But they weren't really playing for 2 scores because they had an opportunity to kick a field goal with some time left on, like a reasonable amount of time left on the clock, because then you give yourself the chance to recover the onside kick and potentially win or tie the game. But no, they were sort of just playing for 1 score there at the end. It was a bit strange.
That is interesting. I mean, I did not catch this game other than just the highlights the day after. 500 plus yards by Arkansas. That's not too bad.
Yeah, and it suggests that maybe we could get into a game with A&M the way that we got into a game with Ole Miss this weekend.
Yeah.
Like maybe their defense kind of sucks too, which is weird because it hasn't sucked up to this point, really. Like they've been reasonably good. Texas 16, Kentucky 13.
Oof.
I think Texas is just not very
Not
good.
very good. Was it you that showed like the stats? Like, I mean, Texas, their offensive performance was pretty putrid considering they were winning. Like, it wasn't very good.
Yeah, I can't wait to play Texas and make them look really good because that's what our that's what our defense is going to do.
Yeah.
That's true.
Arch is going to have his best game. Book it now. Arch is going to have his best game of the season against us. This game was 13-10 Texas with 14 seconds to go. 2nd and 10 Kentucky from the 27. They chose now. Maybe it sounds like I'm going to go against what I was saying in that other game where Mississippi State was throwing the ball on 2nd and 10. But crucially, Kentucky is down 3 here, right? And so a field goal is going to tie the game. 2nd and 10 Kentucky from the Texas 27. They choose with 14 seconds on the clock to kick a field goal now on 2nd down instead of trying to get a 1st down and then maybe take a shot in the end zone. Like you have an opportunity to maybe try to make something happen here. And if this was any other coach, I probably wouldn't think twice about it. I'd be like, no, take the thing and go ahead and play in overtime. But like you're Mark Stoops, you're the lesser Stoops, you're in Kentucky, you haven't had a SEC win in a year and a half or something. You have nothing to play for this year, right? Nothing is going well. But you have an opportunity to knock off the preseason number 2 or number 1, whatever Texas was at the start of the year. I know Texas isn't what we thought that they were going to be, but you have a chance here. If something just breaks your way, like take the fucking shot. Try to throw the ball downfield. Make it a low percentage thing where, if it's not there, you tell your kid, like, just throw it away, right? But, like, give it a shot at least. I don't know. It felt cowardly. It felt very lesser Stoops to be just settling for the field goal and putting it in overtime.
Remember last year when we almost lost?
Right, but isn't that like on brand for him? I mean, it's remarkable.
Yep.
Again, this is like the stats are striking. Texas had 8 first downs. Kentucky had 26. Like Texas had 179 total yards. Kentucky had almost 400. It's remarkable the disparity. And so you would think, why not just win the game? Maybe he thought, we could just win in overtime.
Yeah, they get to overtime. Kentucky runs one play and gains like 22 or 23 yards on their first play in overtime. So it's 1st and goal from the 3 for Kentucky after one play in overtime. Sequence is run up the gut, stopped. 2nd down, play action, a fake reverse with no one open, a QB scramble to the 1-yard line. 3rd down, run up the gut, stopped. They go for it on 4th down, run up the gut, stopped. And this is grown man football from the lesser Stoops, and it totally fucking fails.
If you're okay, wait a minute. So if you're the first team to go up, like, and you're in a 4th down situation, aren't you supposed to kick the field goal?
You would think 4th and goal from the 1. You have stopped them all day long. You just read the offensive stats for Texas. They looked like dog shit. They go on upon getting the ball back and having made that stop to lose yardage, right? In overtime. Texas does not gain yards. Instead, they lose yards and they kick a 45-yard field goal to win the game.
Right.
Not great.
I mean, that is that should be fireable. Like those 2 sequences, like the into the 4th quarter or into overtime, and then also what you did in overtime. Just bad coaching decisions, and this guy gets to keep his job.
No, neither of these teams is any good. But they would owe him like close to $30 million within 30 days of firing him, so he's probably safe. Tennessee 20, Alabama 37. This was a good and close game in the first half until the last play of the first half.
Was that the pick 6?
A hilarious 99-yard pick six. Tennessee is first and goal from the 2-yard line with 13 seconds to go in the half. They try to go up the gut and they fail. So now it's 9 seconds to go from the 1. And Aguilar throws a pick into the front corner of the end zone, which is returned 99 yards for the score. Instead of going into the half 16-14, like losing 16-14, if you get the score there, you're now losing 23-7, and they didn't really ever recover. It was not close after that.
Yeah, even if it's like incomplete and you're running out of time and you kick a field goal, it'd be what, 16-10 or something. It could be anything, just something other than a pick six.
Right, and they hung with Alabama basically at that level for the rest of the game. Like it sounds bad, 37-20, but there was a late score I think by Alabama. But like if you take that away, it's 30-27, right? Like if you swing that 14 points the other way, it's a whole different kind of game. Sucks for Tennessee. I don't feel too bad about it. Alabama's real good.
Yes, they are.
Is the bottom
Although
line. Ty Simpson is real good.
It becomes more and more perplexing that this Alabama team lost to this Florida State team. Like, what happened that first week?
Yeah.
They were not trying.
Because at least, Georgia's loss is a very quality loss to an Alabama.
Yeah.
Alabama's loss is not very good quality.
Yeah, an argument could be made that Georgia should be ranked higher than Alabama because of who their
weird argument.
worst loss is. That same argument probably puts UVA as the number 1 team in the country. Or UVA behind NC State as the number 2 team in the country.
Also, UVA had a fun ending to a football game.
We'll get there in just a minute.
We could get there right now, as you mentioned it.
Well, we just mentioned...
talking about Alabama. I don't like talking about Alabama. They're really good.
Calm down,
it's boring.
lady. Christ almighty. We just mentioned Florida State and how they won that first game of the year against Alabama. And then this weekend, they went out to Stanford and lost 20-13 as 17.5-point favorites. Couldn't help but notice that nobody in the CIB 2025 Pick'em contest picked Florida State or picked Stanford as double-digit underdogs.
I mean, who could have predicted that? I mean, come on. You had to be a degenerate to predict that.
Ugly game. FSU's offense is no good. And they had to go to their backup quarterback after Castellanos gets hurt on a targeting call.
Did they fire another Norvell? Like, Norvell has a brother?
Fired Norvell in an unrelated, no, sir, we are not relations,
no
Norvell.
relation. Okay.
In Colorado State.
Okay. Well, this Florida State Norvell seems like he's not going to be around for much longer.
No. And this game ended, like Florida State had a chance at the end, and I'm going to show you this clip here.
We were asleep.
Yeah, I was not watching this game. We went to bed. But, all right, so end of this game, Florida State trailing by a touchdown. We have a not quite Hail Mary is thrown to the 8-yard line. And the officials put 2 seconds back on the clock. So with like 10 seconds to go, they run a play. They throw the ball deep, but not deep enough. I don't know if the kid didn't have the arm for it or what, but the ball is caught at like the 8 rather than in the end zone. And it looks like time expires, but they put 2 more seconds back on the clock, which gives them time after they reset the ball to snap it. They don't have time to spike it, but they have time to snap it and then get one more play off. Then they call pass interference in the end zone against Stanford, and it definitely was PI in the end zone. Like the guy was holding him the entire time. It was one of those just do whatever you can to make sure nothing bad happens here, and maybe they won't throw the flag. But the officials ended up throwing the flag, and so they're going to get an untimed down from the 2-yard line because of the PI call in the end zone. And this is what happens on that untimed down. Spread formation. They bring a guy in motion. It's a little shovel pass up the middle. I love the play call. I think it's very cool design, and I think it actually works.
So wait a minute. That's not good.
So this is no good, and I'm going to keep playing this because as you watch the replays, I think that if you can blame someone for FSU not quite tying the game, but not getting this into the end zone here as time with time expired and maybe forcing overtime, or maybe they go for 2 here and try to win. I mean, who knows? We'll never know.
Yeah.
But watch the replay angles that they have for this? Because to me, it looks like he's in. They do not signal him in, and so now they have to go to replay to determine it.
Wow, it's remarkable. You can't get a good look.
Like, it looks like he's in, right?
To me, it does.
It looks like he's in, but the problem is
There's no
there
clear
is
shot,
no
yeah.
down the line camera.
Yeah.
And the only one that is sort of down the line is in the end zone on somebody's shoulder. And it's not down the
pylon cam?
There's no pylon cam. So
Of all
ESPN
the cameras to not have.
ESPN cheaped out on their production here. They don't have enough coverage of this game, and it costs FSU potentially here because there's simply no angle that isn't blocked by players or a referee that gives you an idea of where that ball is in space at the moment that his knee or butt is down on the turf.
That's true. Yeah. I wonder, but they're probably stretched thin. How many games do they cover on a given Saturday?
Right, and why would you send
That's true.
the extra production truck to the Stanford FSU game
Right.
that's a 17.5-point favorite?
Right.
But to me, it looks clearly like he's actually in. I know that officially you can't say that he's in because there's not clear and convincing video evidence or whatever.
I mean, once they called that short, it's kind of hard to. There's no evidence to overturn it.
But this angle looks to me like he's in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, where else can the ball be but over?
Yeah.
Where else can the ball be but over the line
Well,
at
it's
that
like
point?
given
But,
his height,
yeah.
like you don't have to see it to.
But anyway, couldn't have happened to a nicer guy, I guess. But Norvell and FSU go down, and yeah, it's hard to imagine him keeping his job as things go on here. Washington State, Wazoo, played Ole Miss very, very close just 1 week ago, and then they come to Charlottesville, and they lose 20-22. After leading this game late. UVA trailed by 10 points with 10 minutes to go. They tied it up with 2 minutes and 55 seconds to go.
And it got loud as fuck.
Yeah, we hadn't heard anything from Scott Stadium the entire time. And usually you hear something. But for 3.5 hours, we hadn't heard anything. And then all of a sudden, the stadium gets super loud, and it's like they're right in our backyard again. The way that this game ends is so completely unacceptable if you're Wazoo. Because what happens is on the kickoff after UVA ties this game up with about 3 minutes to go, a Wazoo player who is crucially not the player receiving the kickoff signals fair catch. Now, if you signal fair catch in college, it's a touchback.
Yeah.
The only exception to that is if you signal fair catch and you are not the person who is receiving the ball. Then it's just down wherever the fair catch was made.
Huh.
It's a rule that you don't even think about most of the time. But if you signal fair catch and your teammate receives the ball, it is not a touchback. Instead, you get it wherever you caught it, and where they caught it was the 2-yard line. And then on 3rd and 11 from the 1, UVA stuffs them, and it's a safety, and UVA goes up 22-20, and that becomes the game-winning safety.
That's remarkable. Wow.
And it's all because this fucking dummy signaled a fair catch when he shouldn't have.
Indiana.
Notre
Dame. Notre Dame.
I only have one more game on my list of games to break down. It is not that one. It is UNLV 31, Boise State 56. And, of course, I want to mention it because I called this as a big-time upset. And I was feeling pretty good about it at the half. It was 28-24. Boise was in the lead, but it was a close game. The Fightin' Dan Mullins were keeping it close. And then they only scored one more time as the rest of the night went on, and Boise State scored many, many more times and ran away with it.
Swing and a miss.
What are you going to do? What was the other game you wanted to mention? The Notre Dame game?
Yeah.
Notre Dame handled
Yes.
the University of Southern California. Wasn't particularly close. And this just makes me mad because Notre Dame lost their first 2 games of the year, and it's not going to matter at all. Notre Dame is going to be a playoff team. Because they don't.
That's true. Because I don't think they have any stiff competition going forward. They should be able to
No, but we'll have to see.
win out. Should be noted, Chris Morrison's kid at UAB beat Memphis. he stepped in for Trent Dilfer.
Yeah, Trent Dilfer was not a great hire by UAB, as it turns out. Notre Dame will have lost to Texas A&M at home, 41-40. They will have lost to Miami, 27-24. The only hope of keeping Notre Dame out of the playoff at this point is for Texas A&M and Miami to both be bubble teams, right?
Not necessarily.
Because if you're a 2-loss Notre Dame team and you're on the bubble with a 2-loss A&M team and a 2-loss Miami, you cannot get in ahead of either one of those teams, right?
Yeah, but you also a 2-loss Georgia, a 2-loss Alabama, a 2-loss Mizzou, a 2-loss Vanderbilt, a 2-loss any SEC team is going to have better wins than Notre Dame and better losses at this point.
I think that in particular,
we'll see.
The only way to keep them out is to make the teams that they lost to also bubble teams.
Maybe the committee has always cared more about wins than losses. We don't know, because who knows what the fuck is going to happen with the rest of everything, but specifically the rest of the SEC. Like, there might be 5 2-loss SEC teams.
I mean, there are 10 SEC teams in the top 25, and 5 of them are in the top 10. It's ridiculous.
This
and
will
A&M
be,
doesn't play Alabama or Georgia.
This will be Notre Dame's best win, 34-24 over USC. There's no one else on. They play Boston College, they play Navy, they play Pitt, Syracuse, and Stanford.
Yeah.
There's no one on this schedule that represents a good win.
Right.
They have like I said, a 41-40 loss to A&M and a 27-24 loss to Miami.
Right.
And then they beat Arkansas 56-13. I guess that counts for something.
Not much. Yeah, they don't control their own destiny. Basically, they're at the mercy of what happens next. They just got to win out and just hope for the best.
I still think they get in because they're Notre Dame.
We just don't know.
There are 12 slots, so I'm sure they'll find their way in.
Anyway, that's the weekend in college football as far as I'm concerned. Just a ton of awesome football games. And really, even when they weren't awesome, they were dumb in the way college football games can be dumb and also awesome. It's not like they weren't all UGA Ole Miss, where it's punch for punch and then somebody comes out on top. There was a lot of stupidity like that.
The one here ended in a safety.
Right, the Washington State UVA game was hysterical, an entertainment value off the charts, because you never know when a fucking 20-year-old is going to do something spectacularly dumb and ruin everything for his teammates, which makes for good television, as it turns out. All right, let's go over the CIB 2025 Pick'em contest. A little bit better as a league here.
Yeah, a little more green than usual. That's good.
We're still waiting on Steve likes to pick these late Monday night games just to keep us still guessing until the very end. He's got the Seahawks -3 tonight against the Texans in a game that I don't think has even started yet.
So we can have another tie at the top.
We might yet have another tie. I'll start by saying that Jimmy, of course, had the Bizarros +9.5 against the Gators. That came in correct. Cousin Steve gets 10 points so far with a potential 5 more points coming. He whiffed on Miami, had laid the points, -13.5. That didn't check out. And then Indiana, they did beat Michigan State, but it was closer than the 27.5 points that he needed them to cover. Got both of his NFL games correct, though, so we'll see what happens with that Seahawks game. Cousin Steve has 112 points, trailing Lori at 117 as of this moment. Lori got 15 points. I got 20 points, finally getting on the board. I still got only 2 out of 5 games correct. But
can't believe Mizzou with a 10-pointer. Look at that.
And then, Abe, you come through with 25 big points this week.
I should have got in on that UCLA game early when it was 2.5 instead of 3.5. That's too much with a 3-point game.
Yeah, that fucked you. Or you could have just taken them outright, and you would be tied for second place right now. Instead, you're
true, yeah, but come on, you gotta get at least 5 points.
Says the guy who's making me wager $5 to return $1.19 most of the time. 110 points for Abe in third, and I am still occupying the caboose with 85 points. But we're coming back. Lori, why don't you update the fantasy football situation?
You're kicking our butts.
I had a bye this week, though, right?
Yeah, but you're kicking our
Good
butts.
Lord.
1,033 to my 840 to Abe's 812. Worth pointing out, I think, Carson Beck yielded me 3.64 points.
That's pretty rough. That's 3.6 points more than Navy's quarterback yielded me this week, though.
Okay, but it is...
Since Navy didn't play.
It is also 3.46 points more than Penn State's quarterback got. Abe.
Yeah, I'm somehow losing points.
Negative.
How am I losing
Negative
points with the starting? This is like, whew.
Penn State put up like 24 points. How did they get negative quarterback points?
93 yards, 2 picks.
2 picks. Those picks are very harmful.
Penn State could not unify behind the firing of James Franklin and loses to Iowa 25-24. That's rough.
So that's how that went and is going.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to, like with the other stuff, you at least can modify, but kind of stuck with these quarterbacks. So this is a very comfortable lead. I'd be shocked if you
just like in
were to lose.
college.
Maybe we should draft 7 teams so that you can choose your starters every week, like I suggested.
No, this is way better.
This is way better with me lapping the field.
I haven't quite lapped us yet, but comfortable lead.
I know someone who might declare it unable to be surmounted even.
That's what it says.
You've been listening to Cast Iron Balls, a podcast about sports with Bob and Abe. Lori's here too. Find the show on Substack, brainiron.substack.com for more from us, including the Billboard Hot 100 show, although I'm a week behind. I have not posted the latest episode of the Billboard Hot 100 show, even as we are perhaps about to record another one. I don't know. I don't know why we would. I haven't done the last one. brainiron.substack.com for that, where you can also find the Philip K. Dicksquisition, the first episode of which is out and good. And eventually, I don't know if we mention it on the show proper yet, we're going to take a couple weeks off of the flagship podcast. Cast Iron Brains is going on a brief hiatus.
We got all these kids, and we didn't decide. Their birthdays are really fucking close together.
Yeah.
And that's our fault.
We got birthday stuff happening. The last couple weeks of the baseball season is happening. Lots of responsibilities.
With a festival, with a fundraiser. Everyone should come to Jackfest, obviously.
And then also I have family coming to visit for Thanksgiving, and the house is a fucking disaster.
And the family is snobby. So
it's not about there's 4 people going to. We're doubling the number of human creatures plus 1 who are going to be living here.
And your mom's coming in.
That's what I'm saying. It's double plus 1.
No, I mean in 2 weeks she's coming.
Like for that long weekend, like Thursday through Sunday or Wednesday.
We don't know.
Okay.
We don't know all of the
things.
specific logistics, but my mother coming to visit for a short weekend is fine. She's also coming when my brother is going to be here for Thanksgiving week. And it's just a lot of humans coming. You got to get, whether people are snobby or not snobby, the house needs repair, needs to be prepared.
It does.
So yeah, I'm going to save myself a few hours a week by not recording the Brains podcast for a little bit. Also, I'm fucking annoyed and ambivalent about the news of the world. And so why punish myself by attempting to swallow it all and then regurgitate it for you? Let's not do that. But it will return. Brain iron. I'm the blowhard in me can only be kept silent for so long. Don't worry. brainiron.substack.com for all of that. The opening and closing themes of the show were composed by Mark Gillig, tetramermusic.com. For more from Mark, TETRAMER music.com. Abe, anything else in the world of sport? Or if you want to tell us about the movie you saw, go ahead and do that.
As it so happens, I did not see a movie. I was thinking of watching Good Fortune with Keanu Reeves and the like, but I thought better of it. stayed home. In the sports world, there's the former Buccaneers running back Doug Martin. He's dead, and the circumstances they're still sorting out. But he went by the name Muscle Hamster. And apparently this was a nickname that he detested. And this has been a recurring. There have been certain nicknames. I think Kevin Durant of the NBA, he was called Slim Reaper. He did not care for that. Like
it's a good one to be offended by. I don't know what
you think.
He was a very small, obviously he's 7'1" or something,
right? Yeah.
But very unnaturally skinny looking.
He's rail thin.
Right?
And in fact, Colin Cowherd famously was shitting on him because he couldn't bench enough weight once. I think it was like 185 pounds. He's like, what sort of NBA level talent?
It's not the upper arm strength that was always sort of interesting about his body. It's those tiny little legs of his. just no
but maybe
muscle
do you
on
think
his
this
calves.
is maybe why he didn't like being called that?
Whatsoever.
But the height, the energy's got to go everywhere. There's no time to settle down anywhere in the legs. Anyways, Doug Martin, I saw a lot of coverage online, just in the comments, especially on Reddit, where it's just people going back and forth. Like he would not want to be referred to as Muscle Hamster because everybody was like,
but stop saying R.I.P. Muscle Hamster because it's
don't
disrespectful.
Don't die, yes, don't die.
Don't get killed by the police during a home invasion.
Right.
Oh God, was he killed by the police?
He died in police custody. It's not clear yet what the situation is.
Don't like that. Hello.
Yeah, we'll see how it shakes out, but that's why I'm sticking just to the nickname part.
The family has not yet retained the services of that obnoxious civil rights, so-called civil rights attorney.
What is that dude's name? The new Johnny
Crump?
Cochran. Yeah, Crump.
Benjamin Crump.
Yeah.
I don't think they have yet retained the services of that guy. Right. And by retain the services of, I think that just means like you opened the door when he came pounding on your front door after someone close to you died in police custody.
This is not an invitation for you, Bob, to imitate this. But remember 10 years ago, the Concussion movie with Will Smith, there was a big thing about like head injuries, and that seems to be played now. Like I don't know what happened with this guy in this incident.
There was a guy who went into the NFL offices in Manhattan.
That's right.
Was 6 weeks ago or something?
Yeah, very recently.
And killed four people.
It's remarkable.
The worst mass shooting, which is shocking though this may be, 4 people apparently, the worst mass shooting in New York City in many years.
Oh wow. Yeah, it's remarkable how it's just like, let's just not talk about that anymore and just move on. But again,
he had an autopsy.
Yeah.
The dude's brain is riddled with holes because of CTE.
Yeah.
And everybody's just like,
what are you gonna do?
Some of them will wear the Guardian cap and look like weird video game characters out there now.
That's right. Actually, the adoption rate is not that high, right? You see 1 or 2 players wearing it, but that's about it.
It looks very silly.
That's not enough to. Would you rather be caught in a home invasion and die because it looks silly?
They should. If it actually helps.
Oh, you don't buy that it actually does much?
I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen the science. But if it actually helps, they should force them all to wear it.
Yeah.
It looks ridiculous. Right. It looks like NFL Blitz or something where they have the oversized heads out there running around.
That's what they should say. Like, we look into it, and it is indeed safe, and it looks ridiculous when one person wears it, so everybody is mandated to wear it, and people will forget. Yeah. It just looks the same after a while.
It's very funny to me because the helmet is like, okay, it's soft inside, and then we're gonna put the hard layer outside, and now we're gonna put another soft layer outside of that, and then some asshole is going to innovate and put another hard layer outside of that. It's just go on and on. It's going to be the Gillette, 7-blade razor in the future. Right. It's just going to be a hat on a hat on a hat.
And you still see players getting kicked out for targeting. People are still leading with their helmets. Nothing's changed.
Speaking of the NFL, the Giants had an all-time boner of a loss last night.
How do you allow 33 points in one quarter? Like, they were doing well.
In a game that you're winning 19-0, right? It's not like you were up 48-24 or something, and then you end up losing because you're in this ridiculous shootout. No, your defense has held Bo Nix and the Broncos to 0 points. You're up 19-0 going into the fourth quarter, and you somehow lose.
But in any event, they struck gold with this Dart kid. He seems to be just fine.
Have you struck gold with the Dart kid? You're up by 10
No,
points.
I think that's
and you're up by 10 points with 5 minutes to go, and you're still throwing the ball, and he throws a terrible interception.
Based on the what has happened to future Super Bowl winning quarterback Danny Jones, that organization, they need to get rid of that DeBowl guy. They need to clean up that whole thing, bring new blood, and Dart will be fine.
Yeah, Brian Daboll has to go. What are you doing throwing the ball up by 2 scores with a rookie quarterback?
I have no idea.
Hand the ball off to Cam Scatterbo and get the fuck out of there.
Not
What
that
are you
difficult,
doing?
Yeah.
The Colts won big,
Oh,
right?
boy. I don't know how many Super Bowls the Colts are going to win, but it's going to be at least one. This team is.
Have you offered your co-host of the Biffler an aggressive buy me out of this bet now option?
Not even aggressive. I told him you have 6 months to just walk away. Like nobody,
Oh, yeah? He can walk
and
away
he's
at
like,
any
I
time?
would never. Like, never. Huh? What are you going to do?
This is the streaking in the street thing?
No,
No,
this
this
is
is
$500.
500 real American
Yes.
dollars.
I should start investing that money to be claimed later.
No.
You should send him in deal or no deal fashion a briefcase that he can take possession
That's
of.
right.
It's like, look, you get out of this for $25 right now.
There's not enough money in the world for him, just out of spite, just to save face. He's never going to accept anything. He would rather just pay the $500.
Lori, anything else in the world of sport?
We didn't
Sport.
really talk about Lane Kiffin potentially going to Florida, but I don't know why he would want to do that.
Without putting too much thought into this, is Florida the best available job over Penn State?
I still think Penn State's a better job
Okay.
because
I think so too.
because I think that you have.
Less
have-
competition
I mean, it's an easier path to the playoff
by a lot.
as the second or third best team in any given year in the Big Ten. Right?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
if you're a good Penn State team, presumably you are the second or third best team in your conference at worst.
I mean, now with
And-
Indiana in the mix, who knows? But yeah, like typically,
Well, but
I mean, yeah, I know
still,
the top 4 in that like Michigan, Ohio State, Oregon, Indiana, Penn State. That's a nice top 5 if Indiana is going to maintain here.
right?
because
but-
you're not going to always play all those teams because the conference is too big.
Right. The conference is fucking enormous. I think it's harder to stand out in the SEC. I think it's harder to stand out if you're Florida, especially if Miami is going to be. I mean, I don't know what Miami is in a couple of years, but like 2 years in a row, Miami is in the mix, right? Florida State
do
is
they play every year?
No, I just mean like as
Recruiting?
a potential competitor down
Yeah,
there.
okay.
You're competing against Florida State and Miami for recruits, and then also all of the SEC. It's still a good job. I heard something this week after the firing happened that Florida has been notorious penny pinchers for years.
Oh yeah.
About giving coaches what they want. That like Urban Meyer, even after 2 national titles, couldn't get them to invest in the practice facilities and stadium upgrades or whatever that he wanted them to in order to make them more competitive. And in the last 3 or 4 years, they have done that.
Okay.
And it's now a better job, sort of ironically, than it would have been a few years ago. They gave Napier everything that he asked for. They're this week, I think, or last week, opened up a new, or maybe this is Florida State also, but somebody's opening up new facilities.
Okay.
Like all of this money is being spent in a way that they didn't used to at Florida, and now they've fired their coach. But still, I'm not convinced that it's a.
Right.
I don't know that if you're Lance that you jump ship.
Also,
from
yeah,
Ole Miss.
he could be like a made man in with Ole Miss. Like I mean, it's not like he can't recruit there, right? So he can field a pretty competitive team. People seem to like him there. Why rock the boat? It just didn't make any sense.
I mean, these people are psychos.
yeah, that is
who-
true. Yes.
It's like, but that's harder, so I want
Yeah,
to do it there.
yeah.
But it's just weird. I don't know. Because he's been successful at Ole Miss, and it's like the devil you know, right? Like, I don't know why. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Whatever. Because it's not going to be the money. Like, it's
Right,
marginally
right, yeah.
not different.
Right, that's the thing. Ole Miss can pay whatever Florida wants to pay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
like it can't be because of money
Right.
if it's Lane Kiffin. But they're talking about Eli Drinkwitz going there, which would make me so sad.
I think it's probably Eli Drinkwitz who takes that job. That makes a lot of sense.
I don't want to hate him.
Oh, he's so easy to hate. Look at that fucking
no,
guy.
he's not. He's having fun.
I'm glad that he's having fun. It is going to be super easy to hate that guy when he's at Florida. He fits right in. So does Lance. Like
Yeah,
they
that's like
both
Lane
have
Kiffin totally makes
that
sense there.
trollish Spurrier ass energy, and it makes sense with either one of them. I think it ends up being Drinkwitz because that's definitely a better job than Mizzou is. Sorry, Mizzou, but Florida's a better job than Mizzou is.
That tech coach is not getting any looks, or just too gimmicky.
Who?
The Brent Key. What's his face? The Georgia Tech.
Brent Key makes, I think, a lot of sense in a more staid institution. Like Brent Key to Penn State would be an interesting
Yeah.
choice. I mean, so too though would the Vanderbilt coach.
Yes,
Be-
Clark Lee, or what's his name?
Clark Lee. I mean, and I know that you just hired a Vanderbilt coach and then fired the Vanderbilt coach.
Maybe that's their thing.
But like,
A bald Vanderbilt coach.
yeah. I don't know. The coaching carousel is
Yeah.
going to be completely fucking bonkers.
Coaching centrifuge.
The only good news with all of these jobs coming open is that, like, Glenn Schumann got to go, and
Yes.
Kirby is not a guy who's going to fire an assistant.
Right.
Like, he just doesn't. Like, how many assistants did Nick Saban fire through the
That's
years?
good.
It did not happen, and I don't think that Kirby is a guy who's going to. First of all, his friend Mike Bobo is his old college buddy.
friends.
He's not firing that dude.
Right.
Although Colorado State comes open, maybe Colorado State is like, hey, let's run it back with Mike Bobo. Maybe we didn't give Mike Bobo enough of a shot the first time.
That's the only way you can get rid of bad coordinators, right? If they find opportunity elsewhere, and they take it.
Hopefully, Glenn Schumann gets that's the thing. I just
Yeah, not the way he's performing.
not
It
the
just
way the
seems
defense is performing.
unlikely that he would not, just because everything's going to be so insane.
Right, and the funny thing is, and I said this in some group chat or another this weekend, Kirby's not going to fire coordinators, but even when we've had other better coordinators, like I know the complaining about Bobo is tired, but Todd Monken was a better offensive coordinator than Mike Bobo. I don't want to hear otherwise. When he left, or when Monken was here, it was still Coach Kirby Smart's team, and Todd Monken was there running the offense. Right. But it was running an offense that Kirby Smart wanted to run. It was still grown man football, right? It was a better version of it, in part because of who the players were that we had, and I trusted Monken's play calling more than I trust Mike Bobo's. Right. But still, it was a Kirby Smart football team. The identity of this team will continue to be and will forever be Kirby Smart. It's not like he's going to sit back in Mark Richt fashion and say, you know what, why don't you guys do what you think is best over here, and you guys do what you think is best over here, and I'm gonna take a step back. I'm not gonna have my fingers in every fucking pie.
There are certain
that's not Kirby's mentality.
There are certain head coaches where they're basically kind of like big picture, and then like they leave the coordinators to deal with those their side, and it's like I just want the big picture stuff, and you deal with the specifics. And Kirby Smart's not that.
No, he's not. He's going to be intimately involved in both the offense and the defense.
In particular, the defense. That's why I'm a little surprised by how poorly this defense is playing.
Yeah. There was on the Wait and Since last Saturday podcast, they mentioned that this was not 2016, 2017 Kirby where he's having a fucking stroke on the sideline the entire time.
He's calmed down
he is
so much.
so much calmer, even as everything is going to shit. Like, the amount of mistakes and blown coverages and long plays and just total failure for 3 quarters of this defense, he would have stroked out on the sideline, right? Like, he would have burst veins. His eyeballs would have changed colors. Like, everything would have been a complete disaster 10 years ago. And he's just not that dude anymore. And I think that the reason for it, this was, I think, what they said on the Wait and Since last Saturday podcast, was like he recognizes that he just doesn't have the dudes that he had before.
Yeah.
Like the team is not because of parity, because of you don't go 3 and 4 deep at every position with 3 and 4 and 5-star dudes. Like it's just what it's going to be. And you have to sort of ride it and hope to survive it. And like freaking out about it as it's happening just isn't going to help anybody.
Right.
You just don't have the dudes to do it anymore.
It seems like he knows that everybody is playing up to their potential.
Yeah.
Like their
and
potential
the
is
ceiling
lower.
is just lower now.
The ceiling is lower,
Right.
but he is doing the best he can. They are doing the best they can. Control the things you can control, and that's it. And he seems early after SEC media days, one of the media people said that this seems like a happier Georgia team than in past years. Like they're happier.
They're happier because they don't care that they're going to give up 400 fucking
No.
yards and 40 points every
Because
day,
they're-
every goddamn time
Because
out.
they're fresh and like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and not like this is working and we're gonna work.
No.
It's nice.
It would be much nicer if they would figure something the fuck out on defense.
Maybe they will.
Saving it for the playoffs.
Yeah.
The good news is, like, I fully trust that we're going to whip Florida's ass in 2 weeks.
Yes.
So
I don't.
at least there's that.
I never do.
And we'll be favored in every game for the rest of the
Yeah,
way, certainly.
should be.
I mean, we were touchdown favorites in this game, and that proved out.
Yeah,
By the
just
way-
barely, right? It was 7.5. It was 8 point.
There's 7.5 point line. You win by 8, and that is like, how do these assholes? I know that they missed the over under by like 20 because way more points were scored in this game than anyone should have reasonably expected. But like, how do you know that Mississippi State is going to score touchdowns
Computers.
like 7 times in a row before we get a stop?
Maybe we do live in a simulation. We're just running numbers. It's all numbers.
Yeah. All right. Hey, but have you got anything else for us tonight?
Nope.
Well, I guess that's all we've got for you tonight then, and we will talk to you next time.
Later.
But anyway, the point is that like, and I've already felt ambivalent. In case you couldn't tell, we spent an hour and a half last week talking about fucking devices.
Right. No, yeah, that works. Yeah, we could take a little.
So we'll do balls, and like, just it'll save me mostly
Hours.
it will save me hours upon hours just in the on the back end, but also like the smallish amount of like attempting to swallow the C on Mondays of the news, and then figuring out what the fuck to say about it afterwards. Like,
Have you? Is that a recent thing? I've noticed that I have to kind of make an appointment to like read up on stuff because like in the past it would just be like just in your normal course of consuming the information you would just come about stuff, but like now I'm like, what the hell's going on in the world? I know.
Well,
no, it's
is
literally
it
all too
football?
fast. It's like what Lori said last week. I was like, what happened on sports Twitter this week? And she's like, what do you mean this week? I know what
Today.
happened this afternoon. But like, I don't know what happened. And I don't think that it's sudden, but it is something that has accrued and become more of a thing in the last few years, where like, I know that I used to consume the news more or less as I do now. A headline will catch my eye and I would read an article and I would think, this is something worth thinking about more and then talking about on the show. And I might now think that 150 times over the course of the week. And then I get to Monday and I would go to open up a template for a show note or whatever. I would be like, I have literally no idea what happened.
Right.
Starting on Wednesday morning and then on for the next 5 days. Like I would just have to basically start over. Like,
Right.
and I don't know what that is. Like it's like everything just resets so quickly all of the time.
Also, Bob needs to work on the other podcast.
Right. And I got to get the Philip K. Dick thing in motion.
And I think you can more reasonably work on that for a couple hours a day.
Yeah.
You just say like, I'm going to spend 2-3 hours reading and writing about this thing, and then, I'm going to go to the dump before the kids come home, and you have plenty of time.
Yeah.
If you just start early.
If what's ironic here is that if that first episode hadn't it turned out way better than I expected it to. I think, like, overall, I think it's fantastic. And listening back to it, I was expecting, even though with the edit, I was like, I think this is pretty good. But then I listened to it all the way through. Like, no, this really works. And, like, I don't know. It's obviously it's evergreen in a way that matters, and it gets to interesting conversations in a way that is much more interesting than we usually stumble upon when dicking around with the news.
Right.
Dicking around with the news is a better name.
There will be no dick jokes in the Philip K. Dickquisition. It's only implied dick jokes.
The proceeding was created with 100% human content.